This is Matthew Cratter from Trade University, and today I want to talk about one of the more cynical and disingenuous attacks on Bitcoin. Someone very prominent saying that Bitcoin has no future as a payments network. This is Sam Bankman-Fried. He's one of the youngest billionaires in the world, and he's the founder of a very prominent crypto exchange or fast-growing crypto exchange called FTX. And he came out over the past couple of days and said that he believes that Bitcoin has no future as a payments network. Why does he say this? He says this because he doesn't like Bitcoin's proof of work. And this is in his statement. He says proof of work is bad. It uses too much energy. And as a result, because Bitcoin uses proof of work as its consensus mechanism, Bitcoin will never be able to scale as a payments network. It's going to boil the oceans. We've heard these kind of arguments before. And then he also says, not surprisingly, we have better consensus mechanisms that we can use in crypto now, like proof of stake. Sam Bankman-Fried reminds me of Chris Larsen, who did an attack on Bitcoin just a couple months ago, got together with Greenpeace and tried to apply pressure to Bitcoiners to change the code, saying that Bitcoin was really bad for the environment. Of course, Chris Larsen is the same guy who's being sued by the SEC and has been running this unregistered securities offering scam at Ripple with XRP for many years. It's really weird, though, because we have all these well-known crypto entrepreneurs, and almost all of them, down to the individual person, is very down on Bitcoin and says these negative things about Bitcoin. Now, this cannot be because they don't understand how it works. SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, is a very smart guy. And if I was an English major and I can figure this stuff out, anyone can figure it out. So the strange thing in the question I want to ask is, why does their smart person FUD sound so much like dumb person FUD? They make the same arguments that you see among people who haven't put in any time studying Bitcoin, like journalists and people who like writing clickbait articles. So the first hypothesis is, why did they attack Bitcoin? Well, it could be because of the shipcoin casinos that they run. Here's the wonderful announcement from FTX talking about how they're going to list Luna. This was Terra Luna. This was March 1st of this year, and we know that just 2 months later, Luna completely imploded. Of course, that didn't stop SBF from defending Do Kwon. So these are the people who work together and have each other's backs. One of them issues a garbage coin, another one gets rich by allowing retail investors to trade in and out of it. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please hit that subscribe and like button. It would really help the channel out a lot if you could do that. But the thing about SBF is he does seem extra cozy with the fiat establishment. If you follow him, you can see that he really goes out of his way more than any other, perhaps more than any other crypto exchange CEO, to ingratiate himself with the Davos crowd, the ESG crowd, the regulators, the central bankers, and our fiat overlords. And at the same time, he loves proof of stake coins and he bashes Bitcoin and proof of work coins. So how can we reconcile this? Here is SBF cozying up with Tony Blair and Bill Clinton, who he invited to a recent conference, I believe. It's important to realize that pushing proof of stake and pushing shipcoins is an attack on Bitcoin. These are transparent attempts to channel the Bitcoin revolution towards structures that our fiat masters can control, so they can maintain control. These people don't like Bitcoin because they cannot control it. And the centerpiece of this control that's coming will use proof of stake. This is because under proof of stake, as we've talked about many times on this channel, the more coins you own, the more control you have over the protocol. This is not true for proof of work. Proof of work, it's extremely competitive. It's the ultimate capitalist way of running and securing a currency. It's very difficult for yesterday's miners to be tomorrow's big successful miners. There's a lot of turnover in the space, which tells you that it's very competitive. It's a highly industrial competitive process. By contrast, proof of stake, basically you just stake coins and you earn more coins by sitting on your hands and doing nothing. The rich who already have a lot of coins get richer, and for no reason. I have no problem with people getting rich. If you create a business, if you create something of value to the world, this is a wonderful thing. But to get rich through rent seeking, from sitting on your hands and getting rich when you haven't provided any work or value to the world. And there's no turnover in this space. Yesterday's stakers are tomorrow's stakers in proof of stake, unlike this huge turnover that we see in Bitcoin mining firms and pools. Under proof of stake, the more coins you have and the longer that you've been staking them, the more coins you will have the chance to earn with each new block that gets validated. You have a much higher probability of being chosen as the validator for the next block under proof of stake. The more coins you have and the longer you've been staking them under most of these systems. And this is how Ethereum 2.0 is going to work. So under proof of stake, crypto exchanges have tremendous power with proof of stake coins. Customers leave their coins on the exchanges either out of laziness or in order to earn some sort of interest income from staking. And then the crypto exchanges are able to become the main validators in a protocol like Ethereum when it switches to proof of stake, because they're holding on to so many coins, both for themselves and especially for their customers. And they're staking these, and this is one way that they make money. They will pass on, for example, Coinbase, I believe with ETH 2.0, they'll keep 25% and then they'll pass on the rest of the 75% staking rewards to their customers, something like that. So this gives tremendous power to people who run exchanges like SBF. I talk more about this in this video on Ethereum 2.0 if you want to really dig down and see the power that both crypto exchanges and crypto ETFs will have for proof of stake coins. Under proof of stake coins, exchanges will be able to control that cryptocurrency. Now, these exchanges, all the large ones, are all regulated, especially in the US, which means that this provides a further attack surface for politicians and regulators who want to control a crypto. So basically, under proof of stake, this allows exchanges to control a crypto, and then the regulators and politicians ultimately control those exchanges. There's another crypto exchange founder who used to love Bitcoin, then turned to attacking it, just like SBF. This, of course, is Coinbase's Brian Armstrong, who back in 2015 in a tweet said that we should just focus on Bitcoin and its side chains, and we should ignore altcoins. This was before he realized how profitable it is to list shipcoins. This was really before Ethereum as well, and the transition to proof of stake, which will really further enrich and provide power to people like SBF and Brian Armstrong. There's a name for this kind of organism. What do you call an organism that sucks nutrition and energy from its host and yet provides nothing of value in return, either to the host or to the ecosystem? Well, in the biological realm, we call this a parasite. In the political and economic realm, we call this a rent seeker. Shipcoins and proof of stake are definitely a rent seeker's dream. It was funny actually on Twitter because Jack Dorsey called out SBF saying, how come you didn't bring up Lightning? And SBF began to backtrack and say he did believe that Bitcoin does have value as a store of value in that monetary form. But I think Jack is right to call out SBF. If you take a look at Lightning, the throughput based on current channels, and this is already a slightly old tweet, is approximately 40 million transactions per second. This is faster than Solana or Visa or PayPal or anything like that. So this is one way that Bitcoin scales without using any additional energy, using second layer networks like the Lightning Network. If you want to go into the energy allegations and proof of work and whether Bitcoin is really bad for the environment, you should also check out these two videos, which I'll link to below, Bitcoin and the Electricity Police, as well as why Bitcoin is so good for the environment. But it's really important. The big takeaway here is when you see these large exchange CEOs attacking Bitcoin, you have to ask yourself, do they truly understand it? And they almost certainly do, because these are very smart and in many cases very technical people. But I think the reason they are attacking it is because they want as many proof of stake coins as possible. This will be a complete disaster if this is where the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin revolution ends, with these exchange and regulator controlled coins. This will mean that the whole revolution has failed. And this is why we have to stick to proof of work. This is why proof of work is so important. It allows Bitcoin's decentralization, and it allows and ensures Bitcoin's neutrality as well. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.